Hello and welcome to Programming Pi. And in this video, let me show you how I built the PING-PONG AI using Python. So it is a neural network based AI application that plays ping pong by itself. So unlike any other computer bot, which just measures the velocity of the ball and predicts its output, it's totally based on AI. So the information which I fed into the AI was the position of the racket, the position of the ball, and the output was nothing but whether it should go up or down. So I did by the conventional supervised learning method through which I played and finally the AI learned from myself. Okay. So what you're seeing in front of you is the AI playing against me. And it was a 4-day project and it came out a bit successful. So let's move on how I did it. I made a 2-player ping pong game using pygame module of Python. After I made the game, I collected the data and I played as a player 1. And whenever I moved my racket, it collected the data and stored in a CSV file. And finally, I trained the AI with the CSV which I stored, and finally I ran about 250 epoch and the AI trained very well. Now let's see how the AI really plays. And the blue one is me. Let's see. So as you can see, the AI is performing really well, and the simple strategy is follow the ball up. So this is how I trained it. Actually, I moved the racket, the red one. I followed the ball with the red one during the supervised learning phase, and the AI is trying to replicate my work. And I don't know the reason for the AI to vibrate while moving up and down. That's something. So on the first layer, I used a ReLU activation function, and in the second layer, I used ReLU, and the third layer, I used sigmoid. So if the value is greater than 0.5, I move either up. If the value is less than 0.5, I move down. So let's see the code. So I'm just closing it. Yeah. So this is the folder in which the AI stores. So if you want this project, you can just get in the description and contribute for yourself. Now let's open the file. So the AI1.csv, that is the first player's AI. That's the dataset for the first AI. Actually, I have another AI dataset. If you wish, you can also build the AI for the second player. So it'll be a AI versus AI match. Sounds good. So now let's open the AI file. Yeah, this is the AI. So don't look up the code. The code is a little bit messy. So it was a 4-day project, so I just didn't look onto the code. It was a bit messy, but it works fine. So this is the training process of the AI. This is the training code of the AI. Whenever I run the training code, it gets a separate data set for once. Now let me show. Now this is going to be player versus player game. Now the left one is me and the right one is also me. And if I press U, the training stops and the AI starts to save that CSV file. So what I basically did is I followed the ball with the red cursor. Yeah, I did the same. You can increase the speed if you wish. It is frame rate independent. That means you need to change the ball speed if you are having a very fast computer. So it's very slow. So as I followed the ball, the AI started to learn that following the balls means victory. So that's what that was it does. So after a long time of training, I closed it. So after you complete your training, plus U, and the training stops, and the code also stops. Actually, you have not started the training process. You have just collected the needed information for the needed data for the AI to train. Now let me train the AI. So the AI Pong is the file where the AI gets trained. So let me open my terminal here and type in. Now let's see what it does. I programmed it for 250 epoch, so it may take some time. Let's wait and see. Actually, the training dataset which I collected now is too small, and it's very hard for that AI to train by itself with this small amount of data. So I remind you to get at least 5 minutes of training dataset, so it performs well, and the training dataset should be better than what you play. As you can see, the AI is not performing that well than it used to be. It's because the training data isn't that good. But even then, the AI tries to play good. It has defended one ball. Now let's see what it does. The AI tries to defend the ball, but it cannot because the training data is not sufficient for the AI. So if you want to make your AI good, you can train it how many times you want. You can tweak around the stuffs like activation functions and the loss functions. It may give a great change for your AI performance. So thanks for watching. Let me see you in the next video.